For people without a home, this time of year when it's cold and wet is especially hard. But a Colwood woman has been helping unhoused people in Greater Victoria for the last 16 years. And as Tess Van Straten shows us in this week's Vital People, donations to the Backpack Project are needed now more than ever.
Niki Ottosen loves to dig in the dirt.
What I love about gardening is that it gives me time to think. It's very peaceful. It grounds me. And it's very healing.
But the professional gardeners also cultivating connection and community this holiday season with the Backpack Project.
We collect humanitarian aid and mutual aid and survival gear for people who are unhoused throughout the city.
Niki started the Backpack Project 16 years ago after meeting people who were sheltering in the gardens she was working on.
Because I worked in the gardens, I got to know them. I got to see where they were staying, and I got to see what little belongings they had.
One of those gardens was Gorge Park, and Niki says the tragic death of a 55-year-old man there from hypothermia compelled her to take action.
They were interviewing Reverend Al, and they said, "What can we do to help?" And he said, "Help them where they're at." So I thought, well, I have a backpack with all my necessities, gloves and water and aspirin and food, and maybe I could give some out to people who have nothing.
That first year, Niki and her family handed out essentials to people who desperately needed them, and it was so well received, she hasn't stopped.
When I hand out backpacks to people, they are overwhelmed with gratefulness, and they are amazed at the generosity of not just me, but the whole entire community. And they tell me that it feels good to be seen, because most of the time people don't see them, they ignore them.
The Backpack Project is absolutely wonderful. So there are so many people that need jackets, socks, gloves, all kinds of winter clothing.
Donation bins are now in all 13 Greater Victoria municipalities, and after Niki and her team of volunteers collect and sort the items, outreach workers from Victoria to Sydney will help distribute them.
The conditions we're seeing people in is really heartbreaking. Their survival gear does get taken away, and we're replacing it as fast as we can. But people in our community are dying in record numbers. There's been 9 deaths in 11 days on Pandora immediately after the sweeps.
People trying to help the unhoused say the City of Victoria's cleanup of Pandora, with tents taken down and new fencing put up, has made the situation even more dire this year.
We're still well short on shelter beds, and we need much more long-term housing. So the need is quite dire at this point in time.
Donations are being collected until December 20th, and Niki's just grateful she can help make a difference.
It makes me feel very humble. Very humble. In a world where we have so much, there's still people in our society that are living well below the poverty line with very little. And so the generosity of my community over the 16 years has been absolutely overwhelming.
Vital People, brought to you by the Victoria Foundation, connecting people who care with causes that matter.